Welcome back everybody, this is King Kong 9700, and long time no talk. I'm very sorry for being MIA lately. I've honestly been working very hard at the Godzilla and Mothra vs. Destroyer animation. It's coming together very well, much faster than I anticipated. You know, I've been waking up early to work on it and staying up late finishing all these shots, as many in my personal life know. And I can't wait to give you guys an awesome animation that aims to entertain. Now, the topic that I want to talk about with you all today is the Monsterverse after Godzilla vs. Kong. Where do you take the character of King Kong in the Monsterverse after the events that transpired in the previous film? How do we avoid the pitfalls that the character has always faced in past films, where it seems like they never really knew what to do with him? How do you expand upon the character after GvK? And just where do you take the Monsterverse? Well, I actually have a lot to say about this topic, and I'm hoping that you guys do as well. So go ahead and make sure to leave a like and a comment down below, and let's dive right into it. Now, before we actually start, I actually have some hesitance with formulating these kinds of precise theories, as the Monsterverse seems to just retcon stuff whenever they feel in order to fit the narrative of the film. Now, what's the fun in a cinematic universe if fans can't speculate upon certain things, since the stuff they already have could just be retconned in future films? Like, I'm not trying to shit on the Monsterverse or anything. I actually love Godzilla vs. Kong, but at the end of Godzilla Dominion, we saw that Godzilla is now living in the Hollow Earth. How is that gonna work with Kong ruling the Hollow Earth? Are they just gonna like retcon the end of Godzilla Dominion now? Another example of this is that before the GvK days, we got confirmation that Kong was roaming around the Hollow Earth, and then by GvK, this was basically retcon, and Kong had his first experience in the Hollow Earth. Like, there's a lot of inconsistencies that make me kind of reluctant to form crazy precise theories that line up with what we've previously seen, because the things we've already seen will most likely just be retconned in future installments as they have been already. So, no hate on the Monsterverse, but I'm really hoping that they try to fix these issues and just have a bit more consistency overall. I mean, if they could fix Godzilla's alpha status from bad to good after GvK and Dominion, they could definitely fix up all the inconsistencies that we have and just try to make an effort to be more consistent from here on out, since the Monsterverse is getting much bigger. So consistency is key, guys. Just remember that. And I'm hoping this film will have consistency. Now, on to Kong's character. As much as I love GvK, I've made it clear that the film kinda treats Kong disrespectfully as a kaiju, so they should definitely make Kong powerful and vicious if he needs to be, while also being a gentle giant towards the humans that deserve it. But as a powerful kaiju with untapped potential, this film needs to expand upon that. We need to see Kong become much stronger, give him more powerful opponents, showing his growth. He honestly needs a Ghidorah level opponent to kind of solidify that he matters to the balance of the Earth just as much as Godzilla does, which is what GvK and the Monsterverse films have been telling us so far. We need this film to show us that Kong is basically trying to fit into his role as ruler of the Hollow Earth. In GvK, Kong just kind of sits onto a throne, and Wingard says in the commentary, "Now he's officially King Kong." And then these fans just go off of that without even like analyzing the film. Like, what? Like, what I saw, honestly, was that all Kong did was just fall into the Hollow Earth, get saved by humans against a couple of warbats who look to be C-tier titans, find an axe he didn't even make, and then sit onto a throne. And bam, that's King Kong? Like, what? I'm sorry, but I don't think he's earned the title Ruler of the Hollow Earth. So this film should show us that Kong is the ruler of the Hollow Earth. This film should show us that Kong was worthy of contending with Godzilla, and show us that Kong matters to the balance of the entire planet. So have Kong fight some incredibly powerful titans and just powerful opponents in general without having to get saved by humans again and again and again. Have him fight a big bad like a King Caesar, mammalian, or bear-like monster. You know, that'd be really cool to see. Kong hasn't exactly explored all areas of the Hollow Earth yet, and I'm sure there are other titans who are alphas of their respective domains, but as Kong rules his respective domain, these other alphas rise to challenge him. Kong needs to earn the title of ruler of the Hollow Earth and defend it. So, how do you make Kong a powerful kaiju? Here's what you do. Have Camazotz return to challenge Kong. I mean, think about it. Camazotz is a badass monster who has been becoming a pretty large fan favorite amongst everyone in the community. So Camazotz should return for an on-screen debut. Camazotz isn't like dead or anything. At the end of Kingdom Kong, he was just punched back into the Hollow Earth. Cammy is still down there, and since it's the Hollow Earth, I'm sure he can summon a lot more of his minions to bring down the new ruler of the Hollow Earth, King Kong. I mean, him and Kong have some serious unfinished business, and it would be really cool to see Camazotz on the big screen. He already has a great origin and very threatening motives, so this film can show us that, which takes the Kong franchise into an entirely new and refreshing direction. Camazotz should become much more powerful as well, and we essentially have our main film, the rematch between Kong and Camazotz. Bring in that King Caesar-like bear kaiju as well, have Kong fight the two of them in a 2-on-1. That would be so cool to see. Think about this kind of story, you guys. Kong is fitting into his role as ruler of the Hollow Earth. Other Titans start challenging Kong for the title, as Kong hasn't exactly earned the title yet. The threat of Camazotz looms, as he hasn't been killed in Kingdom Kong. He's been in the Hollow Earth, not only recovering from the battle that took place between him and Kong years ago, but he's been getting stronger. So in this new Kong film, Camazotz and his world-ending threat of the storm arrives, as Kong has to stop it. Having Kong get tag teamed by Camazotz and this bear kaiju, but coming out on top against these two powerful monsters would not only redeem him as a powerful kaiju after the disrespect he got in GvK, but it would also show the kind of growth he's had, and it would solidify just how much he matters in the Monsterverse. So that is how I would make Kong a powerful kaiju in this film and redeem him. But there is still a lot more to Kong as a character, and that's the next point I want to make. Expand upon the characters we got in GvK, including Kong. As badass as Monsterverse Kong is, I've never really been as attached to him as I am with other incarnations of King Kong, such as 2005. So what I would do is give Kong the kind of substance he deserves and can definitely have in this universe. I would signify that he's a lonely giant and really just hammer home that he is the last of his kind. I wouldn't go the Son of Kong route that's currently being rumored, as that would kind of defeat the purpose of Kong, and also because we're just getting a fully grown adult Kong, and we've already seen him as a kid previously. So Kong himself, fully grown, powerful kaiju adult, he needs some time to shine. Also, develop Kong and Gia's relationship. Include themes of trust and betrayal and redemption. Give Kong, Gia, and Eileen all very special character arcs. I'd even throw in Nathan Lind in there as well. Have Nathan in there if they do continue his story, and have him try to kind of win over Kong. Really try to flesh out and broaden that kind of development, where Nathan tries to communicate with Kong via sign language, but Kong just stands there expressionless. Eileen or Gia can sign to him and he responds, and as they walk away, Nathan just stands there like, what the fuck, like what doesn't he like me? So maybe Kong can actually have a reason for not liking Nathan, or hold a grudge against him after humans basically enslaved him and took advantage of him in GvK. This could be developed and really deepen the characters of both Kong and Nathan. By the end of the film, after being much more heroic and even less cowardly, Nathan could try to then communicate with Kong again, and this time Kong would respond. This development where Kong starts to warm up to Nathan could be done over the course of 2 films preferably if the actor Alexander Skarsgård chooses to stay on. It could just pop up here and there in the film and could be played on for comedy, only for it to eventually grow into something much more bigger, where we start to get insight into how Kong's mind works and how full of regret Nathan is as a person after what happened in GvK. He just wants to do right by Kong, and that's something that can really work if they do it right. And since we're talking about the characters, a rule I would hope is made for this film is don't overbloat the cast. Simplicity builds complexity. Utilize the few characters of the Kong crew we have now, which is very simple and compact, and then build upon those characters to make them complex. This film might not even need human villains. It could just have kaiju villains like Camazotz. This film should really try to break the formula of the previous films, give us those awesome badass fights in the new Hollow Earth environment, show us the dangers of the kaiju escaping onto the surface world, since we know a Hollow Earth entry point was created by Godzilla and GvK, and just really try to break the mold of the previous films. Try to make it less formulaic and more different. Strive for some incredible originality, which the comics have shown us can be done. And remember to show, not tell. The Monsterverse does have some exposition problems, and I really hope these new films can start to just show the audience things rather than just tell them. Finally, what I would try to do is make sure the film has a very simple, short, yet sweet story that is not bloated or complicated. Again, I know it's easier said than done, but with the right kinds of people, this can be done. Simple human cast, simple kaiju story, yet it's all unique and fresh. Films like, for example, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, or the original King Kong, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, John Carpenter's Halloween and The Thing, these films all have very tight and compact stories that are not bloated or complicated. And the beauty is that you have a lot more room to expand upon these simple characters and make them complex, without having the need for 30 characters who the audience has to keep track of and then forget after they leave the theater. You want to try and have a character so effective that the audience refers to them by the character's name and not the actors. Easier said than done, but it can be done. They need to make the effort. And the reason I bring this up is because the Monsterverse seems to have this kind of problem of being bloated with stories that are forgettable or kind of hard to follow, and Kong in the series so far, and the Monsterverse in general, should honestly try to move on from trying to uncover the origins of all Titans, and instead expand upon what we have now and what lies ahead. Tease a Destroy All Monsters film, which is what seems to be happening with the Space Godzilla-like Kaiju. Obviously connect the films to previous films and be consistent, but don't let those things take the forefront. Aside from that, that is pretty much it. I do have a couple small fan wishes, but I won't cry about it if they don't give us these kinds of things. But I do want to see much more jagged mountains like the 2005 island, a lot more jungles and less of those flat plains. Give us a lot more dangerous kaiju. You know, the Hollow Earth gives us a lot more jungle and richness, and I do hope to see, again, a lot more of that. Now, I want to see images a lot like the concept art for GvK, whereas some areas were dark and lit by volcanoes or lava. Just really cool things like that. And it's really cool that the Hollow Earth looks a lot like Kong Island from Kong the Animated Series, and it's cool seeing Kong fit in this large environment. I would like to see a lot more shots with scale so we don't enter the Uncanny Valley effect and, you know, we kind of just lose track of Kong and how big he is. And I want them to make sure that the VFX are as incredible as they were in GvK. Maybe fix the clipping issues we saw in the Hong Kong fight, and give the monsters a bit more screen time. Kong should have a lot more screen time so we can start to realize that monsters can carry the films. Not that they should completely overshadow the humans and human stories shouldn't matter, like don't get me wrong, they should. But monsters should have a lot more screen time so we can connect to them as characters. After all, that's why the audience is there, to see those giant monsters in the titles. So, if this film performs well, then it can essentially just carry over into the next Godzilla film, where Godzilla has a lot more screen time and can shine as a character, much like Kong does. That's what I think the Monsterverse really does need. We need a lot more character with Kong and Godzilla. You know, the more the merrier. And that is all for today, everybody. I know this video was a bit short, but this was something to kind of just hold you guys over until my animation is complete. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support, especially for my Kaiju Opinions piece and the recent animation tests I've been uploading. It truly means the world to me that you all stick around the channel, and I just wanted to say thanks. IDW Godzilla and Mothra vs. Destroya is about halfway done in terms of the animation phase, and I'm hoping to have the animation phase done in around 1 to 2 weeks. If y'all peeped out that recent animation test by UE4Zilla, or Delta Area on Twitter, you know, the Godzilla vs. Gamera animation, those are the kinds of quality films I'm striving for here, and the visuals that I hope to recreate in these upcoming animations. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and please share the video. Let me know where you would take Kong after GvK, and what your thoughts are. This is King Kong 9100 signing out. Until next time, bye-bye.